Hey everyone, and welcome to the Infinite Respawn Podcast. I'm Turkey.
I'm Oak Tree.
Unicorn Grif.
I'm just Sith Lord Baka.
There we go.
Happy Halloween. Which
I
will be
threw
the
everybody
day
off.
after Halloween. I guess Chicken's appropriately dressed for the day after Halloween because he is a turkey and we would be in November, thus time for Thanksgiving decorations, Christmas. Hold on.
I thought I'd knock out 2 holidays in 1 month.
Wow, this is fun. And festive. What games are everybody playing this week?
Spooky games.
Festive.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we finally got around to playing Friday the 13th again.
I'm really bad at that game.
I love that game so much. Like, I think I died every single round, but I helped at least 15 people escape all night long. Like, I was like, all right, hero, have some keys, cars ready to go save people.
Yeah, he and I get together, and he goes, he and I got together, and he goes, Oak. And I was like, yeah. He goes, you got a map? I was like, yeah. And he goes, all right, go to the blue car. All of it's set up right. And I was like, okay, there's gas in the yellow car, so if you need to get out, I've already put gas in it. So we're good. And so he goes, go save as many people as you can. So I went into the room and I was like, we got the keys. Let's go do this. I was like, Chicken's got him going the other way.
Yeah, I try my hardest because I can fight Jason, or at least I piss off whoever's Jason enough to where they just fixate on me. They're like, God damn this guy, get off me! Stun him, firecrackers, all that.
Chicken helped everyone, like not everyone, but people escape every round except for one.
I didn't escape a single time. Not once.
The round that. My round.
Baka killed everybody in one round, right?
Yeah. I slaughtered all you bitches.
Yeah, I think he came after me first too. Like he made a point to get rid of me, to remove me.
I think I killed Oak first because he was just there.
You killed Oak and Wolf first, and then you moved on to the rest of us. I lost too many people early, and I couldn't coordinate enough to find. I didn't find shit. I was like, well, I can't find anything.
Well, I ran across them, so I picked up Oak and threw him through the window, and
and literally walked out a door in front of him.
Yeah, he went to go turn back in and accidentally shut the door on himself. So I just picked him up and tossed him through the window.
Nice.
Yeah.
He wanted back in, so
got back in.
At one point, Grif, I was trying to save your ass while we were around Jason. And I'm like, go. And you were just kind of running around in circles, not going. I was like, go to the car. Go get away from Jason so that I can save you. Go. And she's like,
and she went the opposite direction of the cars.
Well, we know how she is with directions. So.
I know. I couldn't direct her anyway. So. Oh.
Well, it was probably partially because every time I had gone to a car up to that point, there was he was there. So I was like, well, I mean, and the teleport thing, I guess I'm the only one that has a problem with it, but it's like, I'm running away. He's behind me somewhere. I'm running. Okay, he's right in front of me and I'm dead now. Thanks, teleport.
You gotta, the R button will let you look behind you.
Like some of the Jasons can actually run and kind of keep up with them, and other versions can't. So he has to have some kind of way to get around the map.
I understand why it exists. I'm just saying, literally, I get fucked by it all the time. I'm like, he's not around me. I got away. Oh wait, he's right in front of me, and I'm stuck to a tree now. Yay!
What's the cooldown
this game's fun.
It depends on the Jason. Depends on the Jason. Some of them can teleport more frequently than others. Others can't.
Yeah, it depends. Like some of them, their senses and teleport are on shorter cooldowns. Whereas, but the trade-off is like they may not be able to hit as hard or have as much health or something like that.
I think with Baka's, his grapple strength was really weak. I was able to bust out pretty quickly, and he was being generous about trying to kill me on something. I was
playing with a new version, not a new version, but a new Jason. I usually use the one with the strong grip, so you guys can't get the hell out of my grasp.
Yeah, my favorite play of the night was baiting Snitty and giving Baka, healing Baka, baiting Snitty, and having him escape. Like, because Baka was stuck in a house, getting his ass whooped, and then he jumps through the broken window, and I'm running up, and I was like, come here, Baka, come here. And he's like, where are you? Turn to your left. I'm right here next to you. And then he's like, oh.
When your character has lost their composure, like,
yeah.
everything around the edges is blurry. You can't see your map anymore, and
that's fair. That's fair.
It's just kind of like
he comes to me, and Snitty's right behind his ass, and I spray him real quick and heal both of us, and I smack Snitty in the face, and I tell Baka to go, and Snitty didn't hear me, so he starts going, and I just start stunning Snitty, trying to keep his attention on me, and then he starts chasing me, and I hear the car start, and I'm like, I'll take it. I'll take it. 4 people escape. I'll sack.
And poor Wolfwood was thrown into the fire right off the bat. He was the first Jason of the night. First time I ever played the game. And, like, we got experienced players that were all around trying to do it. And it's like, I hear boat's done. And Snitty are like, okay. We head straight over to the boat. And poor Grif's sister shows up. And we're sitting there and we're like on the boat. And I look up. And her and I both look up, and I just started the thing, and we're pulling away, and she's running up next to us. It's like, sorry,
there's no
we
room.
Just left.
Hey, that game is you get thrown into the fire. If you're Jason, good luck. You just got to learn how to do it.
I think if you didn't want to do that, though, you should set your preference to counselor to start, so that you're guaranteed not to be him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. But it's all good. I feel like everybody had
go over that in the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, I think it didn't really occur to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's note for if we ever have another new player, which seems kind of doubtful these days, but just in case.
Yeah, but I love playing Friday the 13th. It's always a ton of fun. I've given up on trying to escape myself. I have more fun trying to help other people escape.
I just wander around a lot.
I try to help you, Grif, but you just don't help me. Except for when you get to call the cops. That is what I use you for all the time. If I find the fuse, my next objective is to find Grif and then find the box. And of course, the fuse box on that last house, or on the house, was the last one that I could check. It was in the dead center. Started up at the top, searched them all, went all the way down, all the way around, and then swirled back to the dead center house. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, of course, last house. And then we go to the wrong side of the map, wait for the police to come up, and this guy right here, this Darth Baka over here, this fool right here, brings Jason to our side of the map, and then proceeds to run into us instead of baiting him and running them away.
I appreciated it. I'm just going to say that now because it allowed me to be able to escape. Because I was like, I'd already put the propeller on the boat, and I was like, I found the gas. I can get the boat going. Why is everybody on the east side of the map? They're going, oh, because we called the cops. They should be coming this way, and they're going to be one entrance to the other. And I was like, okay.
Well, it was originally just me, Chick, and Red, and then of course Baka ran Jason over there. So yeah, everybody was over there. Thanks, Baka.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm getting in the boat and going.
See, Baka gets all of his teammates killed. I try to save my teammates.
I've just accepted that I will not win those games ever. As either like the counselor or Jason, I will just never.
I try, damn it. But I run out of tools. Like, I can only keep him distracted and fight him for so long before he eventually just grabs me. And depending on what I have is as aggressive as I get. If I've got firecrackers, a knife, and a weapon, I'll just start fighting him until I stun him. He grabs me, I'll stick him in the neck with the thing. And then when he gets up, I'll throw firecrackers and just try to keep him occupied as long as possible. I know at one point Wolf was the guy, and I hit him with a crowbar. And he fell down in the living room, and I grabbed the flare gun, and I think Kat and Grif ran away, and I waited down the hallway with the flare gun just waiting for him, and he's like, I see you down there. Just tried to, like, swerve back and forth, and I was like, what are you going to do? Pop. All right, stunned again. Now it's my turn to escape. Good luck. It's pretty much how it is every time. It's just good luck. I'm going to try to run. Oh, man, that game is so much fun.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Oh yes, every time we get the opportunity to play. it's like once a year, but whatever.
Pretty
Red
much,
running
it
around
really
going.
is.
It is about once a year.
Red running around, and I think it was just me, him, and Chicken on the walkie-talkie, and he was running around and goes, "My boyfriend's here. My boyfriend's here," like that. And he goes,
he
"Are
was
you?"
being subtle, and I was like, "What the hell is this motherfucker talking about?"
I knew what he was talking about. He was like, "My boyfriend's here right now. Hey, buddy, what you doing?" "Oh yeah, nope, not on the first date. That's not gonna happen." I was dying.
Yeah, because I was telling him if he has anything, and he's like, "Nope, I didn't bring anything." I was like, "Oh, he's trying to use clues to not tip off Jason to what he has." I was like, "All right, kudos, I got you." Talking over the radio in Morse code or whatever the hell you got.
And what saved us a couple times, make sure if y'all ever play this game with people, that if you find an item and you can't carry said item, grab item and drop item, so it shows up on the map so everybody else knows where it's at. So if something happens to you, you don't have to explain where it's at or anything like that. People can see it.
Preach it. Oh my God. Even if it's a gas can, you don't have to move it. You just pick it up, drop it again. It marks it on the map for everybody so that everybody can see where it's at. If you leave it there, they can't see it. Even if it's keys, take it out, drop it on the ground. Be like, there's keys there. Keys here. Whatever you've got.
I couldn't figure out how to drop the battery. It wouldn't let me. Like, I tried to use the drop item button, which is Z. It wouldn't let me throw things down, and I was like,
You have to like hold it.
Yeah, you gotta hold it down. I dropped my healing spray when I was trying to heal myself instead of the gas can that I was carrying, and I was like, fuck, I'm
well,
dead.
it's okay. I put the battery in the car and then immediately died, so.
At least you did something.
Oh yeah. That one was me.
Oh. Yeah.
I was like, that sounded kind of familiar. Oh yeah, I killed her like right after she put it in. Like I stood behind her and watched her do it.
Well, I knew
and
it
then
was
killed
you
her.
that was the Jason because there were traps all around the car. And I was like, oh, he's the only one that plays this game enough to do stuff like that.
Hey, I do it too. But I never got Jason, so. Which is fine. It's nice to be the survivor side of thing. Whenever we play Deceit, I'm either default to the bad guy, I get picked to be the bad guy, or random picks me to be the bad guy.
Every time I hit random, if I'm the bad guy and it lets you pick one, I just hit random. It's always him. I'm like...
Yeah, you should probably just start picking from now on.
Yeah.
Because like when we play Deceit, it like there is a 90% chance that it is chicken or red.
Yes.
And
It's a
so,
high
like,
probability.
If we voted them out,
And if it's not
if we
either
voted
one of
them
them,
out,
that 10%, all of us are going to suspect both of them.
Yep.
So it plays in the favor of the two people that are terrorists.
Yep. Almost every time this round starts, it's like, all right, where's Red and Chicken? Let's go ahead and knock them out real quick. It's one of those two.
Well,
And to be fair, though, I'm the only crazy motherfucker that if you come at me, I just start capping your ass. It's like, don't come down this hallway. I got enough ammo to take 2 or 3 of you out.
well, after Friday the 13th, we spent some time beating each other up in Gang Beasts, which is always fun. Headbutts everywhere. I have to get a new controller, because controller drift killed me outright 3 times last night. Match starts and I'm already running off the edge, and it's like, okay then. Okay.
Nothing kills me more in that game than watching people who are doing super badass just straight yeet themselves off the fucking map.
Red.
Like they're just going ham. They've knocked the other guy down. They go to pick him up and jump, and then they just jump
throw
off.
themselves off. Yeah.
Like they just flail and then fall off. There were multiple times where City's like, "Yeah, I'm doing it," and he jumps, but without holding on to the guy, he just yeets himself, and he's just grabbing the wall, falling. He's like, no, fuck. It's like, yep, so good. Or the old reversal where you throw somebody off, they grab you, swap places, and drop you, and you're like, well, I'm not entirely sure how that happened, but I'm a little mad at it. God, that game is so good.
Or when you're
That's
fighting
funny.
against some of the barricades at like what was the start of the game, and usually the map's like, okay, everything's sturdy for the first minute or so, and then things start deteriorating and breaking. And it was the construction site, and Chicken and Red were throwing down like immediately, so, and I had been spawned kind of off to myself, so I came and I was planning to push Red against the wall, but I pushed him and the wall fell and we both fell off. And Chicken was just standing there like,
Oh,
yeah.
that game is so much fun. So funny. Some of the shit you get yourself into is ridiculous. Oh, man.
It was fun. Then we played some Red Dead, and like instantly Baka's like, Snitty's got Red Dead now. Snitty, when are you free next? When are you free? You want to play Red Dead next time you're free? Free time? Red Dead?
Gotta go pew pew.
Baka's like, you want some money? Have some money. You need some money? Have some money. I got money. Work with me, and you can have money. Do you need money? I got money. I got stuff we can do
Baka
for
just
money.
wants an excuse to play that game and look like a badass.
To be fair, while I'm riding around, I'm usually the one catting people as we're driving. If we had a stat score, you would see my headshot percentage way up there.
Not mine.
I kill just as many people, except I usually goof around and set them on fire.
Show me the stats. Show me the
I mean,
stats.
I've seen a lot of fire, so I'm willing to say that's probably
And
accurate.
explosions.
Yeah.
Yes,
Last
there
night
are
I was like,
plenty
did
of
something just
explosions.
blow up? Baka's like, don't worry about it.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Just buy a bunch of dynamite and throw it at people.
It's only slightly
Catch!
concerning that things are
It's hot
exploding.
potato.
Okay.
Yep. I used that on the last mission we did, and toxic moonshine,
That
which
sounds
is
safe.
basically gas, and you throw it. Like I threw it, and two of the enemies came riding up on horses into it, and like basically just fell over and died.
Oh,
I was like, well, let's go.
yeah. It was fun. We had a fun weekend, though. That's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We do have one more game that we got to talk about, but that's going to lead into some of the big things from last week. So we'll let Oak.
Okay. I don't know what it is, but...
What you do? There's an article about it.
Oh, okay. Okay, then I think I
It's our ghost game.
do. Okay, cool. Let Oak talk about stuff.
Anyway, I've played some Psychonauts 2, a little bit more of it. Actually, really enjoying what they're doing with what they've done with the game. Just like storytelling wise, everything seems just like there's always something new every level you get to. So it's not repetitive. And the overarching like storyline, the actual that you're trying to accomplish is very interesting, intriguing, trying to figure out how things take place. I did figure out that this game takes place 3 days after the original game.
Oh.
Which is weird.
Because it took so long for
Knowing
it to
how
actually
long
make
there
it.
is in the
20
actual
years
difference.
later, 3 days later.
Yeah, exactly. So it is three days difference, but overall, like just really fun. And going back through, like once you unlock abilities, going back through some of the brains, because you're inside people's heads, going back into those levels and being able to complete them, and it makes me want to 100% complete, just because of the way the game's designed itself, which is really neat. Then also been playing Back 4 Blood, and been playing with Old Man, my friend Timmy, and then the guy that used to live in our basement down here, Dylan. We've been playing a little bit, and I've been playing on mouse and keyboard. Everybody should be impressed right now that I was doing better than the people that were doing with the joystick. So playing with the mouse and keyboard, it's really fun. But my favorite thing to do is while we're waiting on people, we go into the little arena that's on the side, to where you can try out the different guns, and we just shoot the hell out of each other, because you immediately respawn and you can come back in and do that. Like we just sit there and did that over and over again, and we were having a blast doing it, because you get to try out the guns and the mechanics and all that stuff. So that was kind of nice.
There are two ways to get into the shooting range, by the way. If someone is cock blocking you at the door, you can go up the ramp to the right of where the door is and jump over the wall.
Oh.
So
yeah, we do it all the time. It's
yeah,
great.
so if someone's cock blocking you, you just go to the ramp and ambush them.
Yep. So we did that, and then the game is like the communication. You got to have your communication down in certain aspects of it, but it amazes me because like Act 1 is super long, and then you have like one little section. It'll be like, let's see, 3 dots. So you know that's going to be one mission inside Act 1. The first dot is like super hard, and you get to the second, like you get past it, and then they're like forgiving on the second one. Second one, you're like, wow, this didn't last long. We got through this easy. What's happening? And then they brutalize you in the third one. Like, like, oh my God. But it was fun, and it was so much fun. I really, really enjoy it. And the cards do, I'm still not sure if I like the card system, but at the same time, I like the fact that I can read on the screen what to expect for the next section and then make my decision on what I want to do. And we all have discussions about it. You got 3 minutes or something like that, and we discuss it and move through. And playing with, because we did play with just 3 of us, and then had to pick up a random. And I prefer the bot over randoms. I'm not gonna lie. So sometimes when somebody drops out, it pops a bot up there. And if you get mom as a bot, it's fantastic. She's like, you need ammo, you need healing, you need this, and like she's just throwing shit out. They're like, here you go, and I'm like, yes. I like having her around. But yeah, like but really, really fun. I enjoyed that. And I think that's it. I don't think I've played anything else. Oh wait, I've been playing Red Dead just to make sure that Grif knows that Red Dead is being played. Yeah, Red Dead's still being played. It's on there. I just did a bounty. Actually, I thought I was gonna be late because I had to like take out like 8 guys at a fort for the bounty, but I got my $100 and heading on, so good to go. But fun times.
Cool. I mean, I just keep it up with the Red Dead thing. Sorry.
But yeah, so I'm done. What's your
Okay.
Phasmo? You gonna talk Phasmo?
Did anybody else want to have what they played this week? If not, then Phasmo.
Other than the general, also Animal Crossing addiction, I've gotten rid of most of the flowers on my island now. After they got kind of got out of hand.
You need to get one like a weed whacker just to clear them all out.
I wish that there was one in the game. I would so use it, but no, I've had to go through and shovel them all up, and go and sell them, and then keep going back and forth like that. And then when the shovel breaks, I got to buy a new one, and then keep going. I have one more little section of the island that is still covered in flowers. I got to take care of.
Well, there was one more. I played the new Grounded stuff. We actually started from scratch because they've changed a bunch in the game, and it just made more sense to start from scratch. So we went through and did that, and but we're trying to build back up to where we were before, and so everybody kind of had their own job. Old man was going through and trying to do all the little achievements that you need to do for Burgle, and we were building a base. One of the things that we figured out is, so they allow you to be able to relocate your pallets. So when you put all your stuff on there, you can go ahead and put all of it on there, relocate it, and all the stuff is still on it. So we would just take it out into the middle of the grass, chop down a bunch of grass, put all the blades on it, and then just move it inside the house to continue building the house.
Well, there you go.
So you can move 20 at a time instead of 5. So, but yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Cool.
Well, what do you want to talk about Phasmo stuff?
The big Halloween update.
Was that not out last show?
No, it came out Monday. We talked about it on Sunday. We were like, "Oh, we're so excited for it."
Soup, it just runs together. I don't know.
I mean, that's why I was like, "All right, cool. Let's throw this in there because of all the cool shit that they put in there." Okay.
That update is massive as far as what it
is.
adds and tweaks and things.
Yes, I will say the way they changed it, it makes the ghost's personality so much more important.
They just have to get that to be a little more defined in some cases.
Yes. Yes.
So
Also, like it's reinvigorated my love for the game because before it was easier to tell or whatnot, and now, like you've got to be
It
much
got
more
predictable.
aware of the ghost's abilities. They remade the entire difficulty. Amateur, pretty much the same as before. Not nightmare. Normal, which is normal, right? Amateur.
amateur, intermediate, professional, and nightmare.
Intermediate. I was like, it's not called normal. Intermediate, professional, and I guess I can get the actual definition up there of the update
Up there.
so that I can explain exactly what they did. Okay, so for amateur, you get 5 minutes. The hunt grace period is when the hunt starts. It gives you about 5 seconds to run before the ghost can move. Okay, that's what the grace period is. So you've got a little bit of delay that you can start running. Short hunt duration, half your equipment. Sanity pills restore a lot of sanity. Intermediate, average. Fuse box starts off, so the house is automatically cold. First thing, you got to go and turn the fuse box up. Back on. There are fewer places to hide, which have made this game incredibly difficult. Which means the closets and different places to hide behind cabinets are filled with boxes, so you can't use them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That does make it scary.
Professional. Yeah, it's very difficult because I hate not having closets to hide in. So certain houses where you don't have any, you've just gotta hope to hide behind the couch or the washer so he doesn't kill you. Professional, the ghost can very rarely move from its main room, so it's a risky thing. No setup time, short hunt grace period, long hunt durations. Sanity pills restore a little sanity. Fuse box starts off, much fewer hiding places, so it's difficult. You have to be very cautious when approaching the ghost in this one, and it even has a chance to move rooms. So we did one on Nightmare, and we were 100% certain of which room it was in, and we tried to smudge it. It wasn't happening. The temperature started raising in the room, and we realized that it moved. It went downstairs in the basement, and we had to find it again. Nightmare difficulty is a whole different beast that has caused an uproar of people who are bad at the game to call it too hard, because it is very difficult.
I kind of hate to be mean to people, but some people are like, this is too hard, and you shouldn't make it like this, and now I have to play on intermediate. I mean, if you have to play on intermediate, that's where your skill level is. That's just how it is, man. Like, Nightmare is meant to be a nightmare.
Nightmare.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. So for this mode, they will not. That you only get 2 of the 3 pieces of evidence. So you find 2, you have to try to figure out the identity of what it's doing, to figure out what it is, because you can only narrow it down so far.
And that is why they have to make
that's where the whole making each ghost personality a little bit more unique would come into play, because otherwise it's like you've got a 1 in 3 or a 1 in 4 chance to guess what ghost it is.
No setup time. The ghost will sometimes change its preferred room, so it's a lot more common on Nightmare that it'll just dip. Shortest hunt grace period. Basically, hunt starts 1 second, hunt starts going. Like you basically hunt starts, you better fucking run. That motherfucker on your tail. Kills extend the hunt duration. This is the fucking killer. It killed me in Baka. Like it followed me. It killed me, and then it went straight to Baka and killed him, and that was it. Like, if you hide too close, or if it chases both of you, you're near each other, you're both gonna die. Fuse box starts off as usual. Also, the map does not tell you where the fuse box is. You have to go into the house and search for it yourself. So
it rotates?
Yes, there's a few spots that it'll spawn at, so you got to search those spots. And paranormal interference has damaged some of your monitoring equipment, which means no sanity monitor and no activity monitor. So you can't tell when it's being active or if it's damaged your sanity. So very difficult to try to keep track of it. You've got to stay in the house, and just you got to keep the lights on. You've got to keep your sanity up. You've got to be so much more cautious. He added weather. It's clear skies, fog, light rain, heavy rain, strong wind, and light snow. They all change the style that you have to play. If it's snow, all the rooms are colder. So even if the fuse box starts off and it's snowing, that means all the rooms are going to be cold. And it's going to take a lot longer for the rooms to warm up, so you've got to not rely on the thermometer immediately. A strong wind makes it really hard to hear anything. Heavy rain, same thing, hard to hear. Light rain it can kind of interfere, but it's one of the easier things. Clear skies is super easy. And fog makes it super hard to see the ghost orbs. And it makes everything so cloudy. He adjusted the Ouija board.
So is it cloudy in the house?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's foggy in the house.
Which they
That's
need to tone it
weird.
down.
That's not real.
Just a little bit, because it does make it very hard to see ghost orbs. I think that's actually one of the things they said they were going to work on in that list
he's
of
gonna
stuff
work on that.
is that it's a little much, because it's hard to see it. So if your camera is across the room from where the ghost orb is right now, it's almost impossible to see them. So that just needs to be tweaked a little bit.
Mm-hmm. He baited us because they announced 2 new ghosts, but he released 4,
Yeah.
which is a nice surprise. You got the Onryo, the twins, the Obaki, and the Raiju, which are all... The twins are probably one of the most difficult ones because it's 2 entities, the real entity and the fake one. The real entity will be in the room, in the ghost room, and the other entity will be somewhere in a different room. And he can do different things in the different rooms, and he can start the hunt from either of those spots. So if you're focused on one room, he'll start the hunt from the other one, and he'll come down after you and basically flank you. So you've got to have one person in each spot, or at least a crucifix in each spot to kind of protect yourself. Also, I've learned that the one that does the special clue is a 6-fingered hand
Really?
print. Yes. So
Huh.
you've got to watch for it. If you see a 6-finger hand print, then that's the I think it's the Obaki. The Obaki.
I didn't know that. That's a thing
yeah.
I just learned.
Yes.
Hmm.
I mean,
Like,
not
they're-
that I'm
they're
in the house once things really start getting scary.
They're really unique, and I'll be honest, I have been reading so much about Phasmo and all the tips and everything, and there are so many small things that I haven't like paid enough attention to, like depending on how far they roam from the room depends on who they are. Like if it's in the kitchen and it seems to only be roaming to the dining room and the hallway, it's a specific kind of ghost. If it roams upstairs, it's a different kind of ghost. Like you've got to pay attention to how far they roam or where they roam to or what they activate with. Like there's just all these little nuances that he's made for these ghosts that you have to be aware of to be able to
That's
figure out
really
what
cool.
it is.
The new
I
map's
love it,
pretty
like,
cool.
Oh, the campsite.
Yeah, you don't have to read every single thing that's been added.
I'm not.
So,
That's not even on here.
But yeah, the
read through it.
campsite it's really open. When we played the first, like we were like, okay, let's load it up in amateur and go ahead and play. And it was me and my sister and Baka and checking out the campsite. There are exciting things like you can touch the guitar and it plays a sound, which I was not ready for. You can light the bonfire, which is pretty cool, and it has literally no bearing on the gameplay. Just fun things that I discovered while we were out and about. But the way that it works is there's the van, and then there's like gates to the camp, and that's what closes instead of it being a front door that closes so that you're locked in. It's the gates to the camp that close. And we had thought the ghost was in one place on this. Like, it's on amateur, so I'm like, it'll be fine, whatever. Well, it turns out that it was in a tent that was right close to the front gate. Like, you could see it from the van. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to take this stuff in there. And Chicken's like, I'm going to step out and look at my journal for a second. So he's standing right outside the gate. And I go to put stuff down. And I heard my heartbeat. And I was like, oh, that means the ghost is around. Okay, no big deal. I'm just going to turn around and nope, out of here real fast. And I turned around and the gate was shut. And I was like, this is a motherfucking hunt. I'm going to die for the first time ever because it's right inside of the gate. Like, Chicken standing right outside. It's one of those things where it's like, if this was real life, you could save me. I can see you.
I
But
didn't know.
instead,
Like, I'm
he's
sitting there
like-
looking at my journal and I hear there's a hut, and I was like, oh shit, am I outside? And I go to grab the gate, and I'm like, oh, I'm outside. Oh, there's Grif. There she goes. Oh, there's Baka. Oh wow, he jumped in front of
knew
Grif.
I was gonna die because I had said things like I didn't realize it was hunting, so I was still talking. I had a camera that was on in my hand, my flashlight's on. I was like, these are all of the things so that the ghost knows exactly where I am. I'm trying to figure out how to like throw the camera down. I'm like, which button turns off my flashlight? There's only bathrooms that are open. There's nowhere to hide over here. What am I gonna do? And Baka's like, what? Oh, I think I'm dead. Because Baka was walking up and the ghost was like, I'm gonna kill this one. And then he saw Baka and he's like, that one's closer. Killed him instead. So I didn't die yet. But Baka did. Again.
Unicorn Grif saved by Baka.
Yup.
Next time, I'm just gonna haul so you're the first one.
If it was
I
Nightmare, it would have killed Grif too.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten very skittish about what I'm willing to do a game. Now that the ghosts are a little more aggressive. And after that I was like, nope. I will bring things to the front door to you and throw them in. And y'all
Just
have that.
a quick tip for that one, or for tossing stuff in when we're on Nightmare difficulty. Don't do it.
Why?
The Raiju, because the Raiju, the more electronic equipment you have inside the house, the more it gets pissed off.
So
You should
just
only
throw
have
it all
one to
in
two.
and shut the front door, and Kat and I will just be like, I don't know what happened to him. I don't know why it was so bad.
Yeah, that's a good way. If it's a Raiju, be like, oh no, let's turn on all these EMFs and spirit bugs. Oh,
Well, because I turn
no.
everything on when I throw it in for you guys too. So sorry.
Yeah, don't do that. If we know it's a Raiju, we'll hold off on that. But that's what they're talking about when they say that it likes electronic equipment. Yeah, so you got to be
Oops.
careful. You've got to always be aware of all these different types of ghosts.
It's fun times though.
I love
Apparently
this
there's a lot of
game. It's a
Easter
great
eggs and
game.
Stuff.
It's on sale. Buy it.
Yeah, it's
think
on the
the
Halloween
sale is.
sale, which goes through like the 2nd or 3rd or something. Oh, I've got my
It's the
Steam
first.
open.
It ends tomorrow.
Does it? I thought it was like a couple of days into November.
No,
Oh yeah, November
unfortunately.
1st. Yep.
Unfortunately, if you don't own it, you should own it. If you own it, you should buy it for someone who doesn't own it.
Just give them all the money.
Dude, I mean, these guys are doing incredible. I can't wait to see what this game looks like when it's done. Like, the next step is going to be able to open up windows so that it could just mess with the temperatures in different parts of the house. And, like, there's so much more that he can build on. They can build on, since there's more than just one guy making it now.
Yeah. Well, we've talked a lot about Phasmo. Do we have other new stuff, or was there anything else like really big that you needed to throw in there for that?
No, that's most of the Phasmo stuff. It's a lot of good shit.
It is. It really revitalizes that game. So if you've played it in the past and stopped playing for a while, go back and check out that update.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, what else do we want to talk about then? We got another couple of like fluffy things, and then Blizzard,
I mean,
because
depends.
Resident Evil Village is getting free DLC, according to Capcom.
Which they didn't even know they were gonna make it.
Yeah.
they were like,
Which
"Oh, I
blows my
accidentally
mind.
made this in my free time. I guess let's what?"
No. When they first made the game, they didn't have any plans for DLC. They did not think that they were going to need it. And then they're like, oh, wow, this game is popular. Maybe we should make DLC.
We sold over 5 million copies. Why not?
Yeah, that's something that Nintendo should learn.
Is it about the
Do a
tall
little
lady?
bit more.
Because that would probably sell a bunch. Oh wait, they're giving away for free. You don't have to worry about it then.
Yeah, it's going to be... I doubt it's going to take place with her.
I mean,
I
she
mean, all
ended
the
up being like a huge
when
fan
all
favorite.
the pre-game demo stuff was all her,
All her.
right?
She was used to the utmost style of advertisement that they could. They were like, put in tall, pasty lady, big boobs, advertise. Do it.
She was Drew Barrymore from Scream. Like that's right off the bat. That's who everybody. We're gonna go see this Drew Barrymore. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm sorry if you've never seen Scream, but Drew Barrymore dies in like the first 10 minutes of that movie. So like, but
For the spoiler, she does not die 10 minutes into the game. Just so everybody knows.
yeah,
it's not a
no.
spoiler.
But it's like but that's who you're using for the appetizer.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
it's like, oh yeah, I gotta go see this, and then boom. It gets the people into the theater, or in this case, gets people to buy the game, and then the games and the movie in this case too, are just, totally a different animal than you think it's going to end up being. So, but yeah, she definitely does not die within the first 10 minutes of the game. So, let's see, any other fluff pieces?
Lots of Activision stuff.
It's mostly Activision stuff. I only put the Toys R Us one in there for Baka specifically. It's very short. They're reportedly reopening a store in the UK, so Baka's gonna have to be making a very long trip to be a Toys R Us kid again.
Yes, accurate.
Totally worth it.
But yeah, so supposedly they're gonna be reopening stores. We'll see how long that lasts.
Well, if it ends up doing well over there, then that opens the potential for it to come back into the U.S.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that, Mr. Hopeful.
You don't crush my dreams.
I won't.
I did that myself. Thank you very much.
What about the Warner Brothers thing?
We talked about the Nickelodeon making their Smash Brothers game because it's literally just copy paste Nickelodeon characters. Warner Brothers is doing the same thing, copy paste Warner Brothers character, and they are all over the board.
Yeah, there's this like
Steven
multiverse.
Universe, Batman, Harley Quinn, Finn and Jake, Shaggy. Like, okay, first of all, Shaggy and Superman putting them next to each other. I don't think Superman really stands a chance, but at least they can kind of make it look good.
The Lord of the Rings Gandalf.
Yeah, Rick, Bugs Bunny, Tom and Jerry, and also
Johnny
DLC.
LeBron James too, by the way.
DLC is LeBron James. Like, and Arya from Game of Thrones. It's like, all right, let's just mash him in there. Let's fuck it. Just put whatever we can. Whatever
This
we own
goes
the
back
rights
to the line from Jurassic Park. They were too busy about worrying about if they could do something. They didn't worry about whether they should do it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like-
what this sounds like.
This is all rumors and leaks and whatnot, so there's a good chance it's real, and we'll see this at some point. It's also supposedly supposed to be free and paid for with DLC characters and things like that. So we'll see where this.
Yeah,
where this is at.
I can see some of them being DLC paid for kind of characters.
Oh yeah, for sure. So
Mad Max would probably be one of them.
Probably. All right, let's be all Debbie
Dive
Downers
into
now,
the
so
whole-
that we can talk about Blizzard, because that's always
Ugh.
fun. The highlight of my freaking weekend
Wait.
every weekend.
But there was a company changing its name though, wasn't there?
Yeah, but
That-
it's because
that's
it's
part-
being
that's
absorbed
because
by
of
the
that's
Blizzard
part of the
stuff.
same company.
mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Vicarious
Okay,
Visions.
never mind. I see that now.
Yep. So, well, go ahead and throw that out there. They're being absorbed into the Blizzard umbrella of Blizzard Games, so they will, not be their own studio anymore.
Yeah, Vicarious Visions, for those that were kind of like, who are these people? They've been part of Activision since 2005, but they're famous for Tony Hawk, Guitar Hero, Skylanders franchise. They even worked on Destiny 2 as well, to help Bungie with it. Most recently, they have the Crash Bandicoot that they were touted for, and then also the Tony Hawk stuff. And then also Diablo 2 is when they got moved over to the Blizzard stuff, the Blizzard end of Blizzard Activision, and now they're just being absorbed from that. And the bad part about this is how it was told to the employees. So they were told, hey, it's a Halloween type day. Everybody dress up, have a good time. We've got one short meeting, and then everybody go back to work. By the way, we're changing our name. Everybody have a nice day, go back to work.
Yeah.
That was the short meeting.
That has to hurt. 30 years of this company, and then you're just being like, well, we are gonna dissolve and basically rebrand into Blizzard.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like, this company has been around since I was born, but right after I was born. So it's a long time as a company, and of course Activision is the one to destroy you, and they got in bed with them 16 years ago. So
Yep.
oh well. Do not group up with Activision. For the record, he will eventually disintegrate. Or what is it? EA? Don't get in with EA either. They'll just send you out back, and put you in the mass
Yes.
grave with the rest of
Yeah.
the companies.
Take it out
At
to the
least
shed.
EA will do it quicker.
Yeah, it's true.
Well,
Damn. Yeah.
what else
so
is going
that
on with
one,
Blizzard?
Yeah. Also, things being destroyed. BlizzCon Online is also being ended, which means BlizzCon is being ended.
It says paused, but
No.
I doubt we'll see another BlizzCon, to be honest. Like, there's just not enough goodwill from the community to warrant something like that really anymore. I mean, you're gonna tell us in your regular launch or your regular notes and everything what is coming out with patches for games that are existing. I just don't think there's gonna be any reason for it anymore.
They are trying to reimagine what they're gonna do according to them.
They're probably going to do some stupid small event where they just announce things like PlayStation's State of the Play or Nintendo's Club. Not saying that those are dumb, but they're just going to do small things, really not for their huge
maybe
community.
or you know, they're trying to figure out how to do a live event to where it actually the live event would matter. So you could, I mean, because you still got people that with all of us that are like jaded by them, you still have people that are still want to go to BlizzCon and everything else. Because like my freaking Twitter blew up the other day and people are like, we could be getting on a plane right now to head to BlizzCon or whatever. And it's like, come on, man. But all right, cool. That's what you want to do. That's your thing. But it's because they've had fun before at BlizzCon and that's what
But
they associate
I
it
think
with.
that number of people is probably small enough that it doesn't justify an actual event at this point too. I mean, those events are expensive to put on and everything, and doing it for like 1,000 people or so is probably not exactly profitable in the way that they want it to be.
I think what they'll end up doing is I think they're going to give it about 3 or 4 years. They're going to let this heat get off of them if it's possible to.
I mean, if Blizzard survives that long,
you know, if it's able to do so, and then they'll go back into figuring out. I just my thing is like right now is, speaking of somebody who just went to a con. Cons are not a great idea right now anyway, because you're 20-30%. You're not getting a full experience that you're used to going to any type of con. And PAX just announced this week that they're eliminating PAX South for the foreseeable future. Mm-hmm. And part of that, what they didn't say in their announcement, but pretty much most of us assume, is because of stuff that's been passed in Texas that they don't agree with, or it keeps them from being able to keep the people at their event safe. Yeah. Like mandating masks, being able to mandate vaccines, things like that, to go into places they're not allowed to do that there. And so they're just like, yeah, we're washing our hands of going to San Antonio. And I think they'll end up within 2 or 3 years moving to somewhere like, let's say Kansas City, somewhere in the middle of the country. So you have east, west, and central, essentially. But I just don't. I think that you're going to get 2 or 3 more years after having been to one. I'm saying 2 or 3 more years before we get really good cons again, and they're going to wait that out, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like this pandemic is going to run its course eventually, and the people who are already protected from it will be fine in the long term, and the people who continuously disagree with that style will eventually get faded out, for lack of a better term. So it will be safer in 2 to 3 years when those numbers have started steadying out, where it's either you get protected or you don't, and if you don't, then eventually you're not going to be a problem anymore.
Well, and a lot of these companies, like the developers and publishers and stuff, their employees aren't out working in the field currently. They're still working from home. So part of going to the con is having employees to be able to do so you don't have these large these large developers there pushing their games. And to be fair, it costs them money to do it. People can play their games or whatever, but if they can find a way to not have to go to a con and still be able to push their games, I think they're going to find that way to do it, because now they don't have to pay an employee to do it either.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it sucks in the long run, but it is one of those where it's going to end up being a reality. I think that they're just going to get smaller and smaller, and it's kind of a saturated market just before the pandemic hit.
Well, I guess we could talk about the pay cut for, Bobby Kotick, who is taking California's minimum salary of $62,000 for the rest of the
Which is easy when you earned $155 million bonus last year.
Well, I mean, you got your bonus last year, and probably most of your money is made from assets like stocks and things like that, instead of actually your legit CEO salary. So it's not like dude's gonna be living on food stamps or anything. He's gonna still be playing golf every weekend and spending money like it's nothing, and this doesn't really change much.
He just can't afford that fifth yacht.
Yeah, I mean, he'll have to put it off for like another year or two, but he'll get it. Don't worry, because I'm sure this is not a permanent situation.
The meat of the article, the title at the top is kind of misleading on what the actual article's about anyway. That's just a part of what this entire article is about. The article itself, yes, he's talking about the $62,500, which, by the way, the $155 million dollars he made at the beginning of the year, if he wanted to pay everybody the same minimum he's wanting to get paid, that $62,500, he could have 2,400 new employees.
Well, I mean, theoretically, he's taking this pay cut, but until things turn around as far as the company's harassment and everything goes, and the atmosphere improves. So maybe they'll have plenty of room for those people.
Maybe so. So basically, he announced that he was going to get the pay cut that was there, and he was talking about changes that are going to be within Activision itself. He said that they have pledged to increase the amount of percentage of women and non-binary people that are in the company by 50%. Currently, they're running at about 23%. They're wanting to do that and invest $250 million over the next 5 years to push for that to happen, to try to get that number up. The third thing that they mentioned was the company will now waive arbitration of sexual harassment and discrimination claims. So that won't be a thing anymore. It'll be one of those where, it can go back into an actual battle of who's right, who's wrong, and make sure people are taken care of. Fourth, the company will continue to increase visibility on pay equity. Women at the company on average earn slightly more than men of comparable work in 2020. So as long as they try to keep that as equal as possible, and they're increasing, trying to get their number closer to a 50-50 split.
Right.
I think that's actually showing that they're putting their money where their mouth is in a way, if they can do that within the next 5 years. And I think that's an ambitious goal. And the $62,000 thing doesn't, like, we all know that's just bullshit of him saying it. It's the rest of this that's important to me of whether they can pull this off. The fifth thing they said is they will monitor progress and update staff and shareholders regularly on gender and diversity hiring and overall progress in improving its workplace culture. There's also now a no tolerance, no tolerance, I guess, rule that's set up. So if you were busted for this, then you're gone. And then recently it was announced that there are 20 employees that are gone because of everything that's happened. There's another 20 that are being completely investigated for everything that's happening. And some of them might be still kept by the company, but have disciplinary stuff. So I don't know if it's just because they didn't go report it, or they were just minorly involved in some way, is the reason why, or if it's because, hey, they're big wigs and they don't want to let those fuckers go. I don't know.
I think one of my, like, I like the pay equality and all of that, but I think one of the problems is, like, forcing a percentage of diversity. I think that's just, like, to me, it's like, oh, we need 50% women. It's like, why don't you get good employees regardless and not be shitheads? Like, I mean, you get qualified candidates regardless, because you don't want to pass up somebody just because you've got your female quota, so we have to get rid of this one to bring in this one, or you don't want this male guy who is super good, really qualified, because you need women for that role instead.
I think the problem you run into is because of the toxicity that they had there before, there is a stigma that's sat in that the hiring they were doing was more male. Like if you had a male and a female or non-binary person that were all equal, the male was going to get the job just because of the environment that was there. And I think that stigma's there.
But that I could get, but then you're just reversing it and you're not fixing anything. These two are exactly identical, but because we hired too many males before, we have to hire the female. Like,
I think
bring them in and figure out which one will fit better for the company.
It's definitely a system that has pros and cons to it, but I don't disagree with wanting to slant that some. I think it's going to be a while before anybody's going to believe that does anything, because we need to see in the long run actual, zero tolerance things working out and people being let go because of their bullshittery and stuff like that. It's just, there's so much damaged trust to have somebody, especially like Bobby Kotick, who we don't have a great opinion of to start with, come out and be like, we're making all of these sweeping changes. It's like, I will believe it when I have seen enough of the actual evidence, but until then, I'm not going to take your word for it.
I will never believe anything he says, ever. Like, unless he gets fired.
That's a safer bet.
Yeah, like, he has to get fired, and you have to bring in someone entirely new for me to fucking even start trusting anything from
I
the
don't think you have
CEO's
to trust what he says, but I think that you can believe the actions.
I will see the actions and I will look at it.
If all this takes place, then he's doing the right thing moving forward. Does not mean he will continue to do the right thing as a human. It does not mean that he did the right thing to start with. It just means in this case, the right things were put into place if the employees agree with what's happening.
Yes, I think he's not doing anything. I think he's just a useless, punchable figurehead that the stockholders are like, you have to do something. And he's like, do I really? Yeah, you do. Whatever. Just write me something and I'll pretend to read it and actually care. Like, I have no faith in this dude short of being a punchable faced figurehead for this company. And that's it.
I actually don't. I actually have more faith in him than I do the stockholders.
The stockholders, that's why they're suing Blizzard. So, because they know that the more damage they get, or the stuff that was already damaged, they're losing money. And they know that they are just tumbling right now. So, I have no faith in him. I doubt he cares if Activision Blizzard collapses or not. He'll just go get another CEO job somewhere else and continue making millions.
I think you could say that about a lot of people that are in the power positions at a lot of companies, including, just across Blizzard in general. It's just,
they've got enough connections where they don't give a fuck. If their business collapses, they'll just go talk to their buddy and get a fake position somewhere else to make just as much money.
A fake position.
I have no faith in like these huge power players that do this shit. Oh man, I'm so broke. I need 155 million bonus. Is that good? Is that cool? Cool. All right. I'm just gonna stock up my bank and buy my 7th yacht. Cool.
We don't need to pay employees livable wages. I mean, we'll work them 80 hours a week, and tell them that they're replaceable, and then go. No, nobody wants to work.
Oh, don't forget sexually harass them too, and insult them, and just make them highly uncomfortable.
We'll see. After stating all of this stuff, if they have another issue arise past this point, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's the end. But maybe they'll actually change some things. What?
They kind of have. I mean, well, not like a new issue, but
more issues arising as they dig deeper into this.
I think Grif was talking about new issues past this point.
Yeah,
is that correct?
That's how I interpreted it. If there's still the same thing happening, and there's now that they don't have to deal with the arbitration bullshit, people can more readily come out and be like, hey, this is a problem that's still there. That's how we'll know. So that's why I said you've got to give it a couple of years to see if any of this does anything.
After all the lawsuits are settled. Yeah. After all the lawsuits are settled and the dust is finally calmed down, give it a couple of years and then basically check back in and be like, is everything cool here? Anybody got anything to say? Come on, anybody. Don't let these higher ups scare you. If you have something to say that they've threatened you about, you just go to somewhere and be like, Activision Blizzard's at it again, and just watch that motherfucker crumble.
Well, I mean, there's a judge that's already rejected their attempt to get one of their lawsuits paused at the moment. So people are definitely wanting to push ahead and do what needs to be done as far as past regressions, and then we'll see what that means for whether or not there's a company to have future transgressions.
Yeah.
Well, what else do we need to talk about?
That's it.
But,
That's
like,
all
why
of
do we
that.
just keep having these? Can we have a week? Is it possible for there to be a week where there's not a Blizzard headline?
Yeah, I think one was last week.
I feel like we still had one.
Yeah, we didn't have one last week,
Did we not have anything? Okay.
I don't think we did.
Oh, Overwatch McCree got, or McCree
Oh,
got
that was the
renamed.
Overwatch one. Yeah, so that
Yeah.
was the one.
Ooh.
You're
And then
right.
we still ended up talking about them. Yep.
It's going to be like this until something is like settled in some fashion. Or
Well,
whatever.
and I felt like the same way with the Riot stuff. I think that every week we had something new about Riot that was coming out
Oh my god.
at the time, and that's still not over. Like there's still shit going on with that. So, I just, I
Damn it.
we can't say that we want change and we want change for these employees and everything else, and not talk about some of the things that they're saying they're doing to change either.
Yeah.
So it's got to come up, right?
Yeah.
I
mean, I
know.
wish there was like a lull where it's like nothing
Episode
happened this week.
336. Episode 336. So we didn't have any Blizzard topics. I went through the whole Infinite Respawn channel, going through each episode and all the articles linked.
Oh my god.
Episode 336. So early September, there was an episode with no Blizzard stuff.
Is that
Oh my
which one's the
God.
one to reference? Is that 336?
No.
336. No. The one the reference is like way back there. Oh, damn. Oh, God.
Oh my god. So, September, that wasn't too long ago. I mean,
That was a month.
it's only like, you're looking at a month ago, essentially. Or a month and a half, depending on when it was at in September. So, we'll get there. Christmas is coming, which means new games will be coming out. There will be no new announcements. We'll have that whole lull because we'll have to be taken off right after that. But, so, and then we can come back and talk about something else. Hopefully,
Yeah, hopefully.
what you got for Christmas? See,
All right. Well, look, if we don't have anything else, let's get out of here then.
Get the fuck out of here.
we
It's a
appreciate everyone who hangs out with us
Blizzard
each and every week at Infinite Respawn. As always, you can check us out on Twitter at InfiniteResPC. You can check me out personally at MDB Oaktree. Check out Grif.
At Grif's Line.
Check out Chicken.
At Elite Chicken 313.
Check out Baka.
Dr. Pickle.
Also, make sure that you go to Grif's YouTube channel. She's got all these videos. Watch them. Hit the buttons. The likey buttons. Make sure you hit those.
Yeah.
And then also make sure you go to twitch.tv/Elite Chicken 313. Chicken, we're getting close, right? Getting close.
I feel tomorrow. Like I'm getting.
What?
I
What?
feel it
Don't
tomorrow.
tease me.
I want to get the Ghost of Tsushima DLC because it's a lot of fun and I've read a lot. I haven't read about the story or anything, but some of the new mechanics that they introduced, I can't wait to get back into it. Like the game just feels good. I want it.
Are there more
again.
haikus? That's all I need to know.
Probably. I will full platinum the DLC too. So
Also, make sure to go to twitch.tv/MDB Oaktree, where I'm on all the time, sometimes, most of the time. And I won't be on tonight because I've got to do Halloween daddy stuff. So I got to go out and, make sure that my kids' teeth rot later on in life, I guess. I don't really know the purposes. I love Halloween, so yes, they are too. And my youngest child is going to be dressed as Alice in Wonderland, and my oldest child is going to be dressed as the Mad Hatter. So that ought to be interesting for sure. For Infinite Respawn, I'm Oaktree.
I'm Griff.
I'm Chicken.
Bucket.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Please hang up and try again.